Hello, I'm Sherry Truhlar with Red Apple Auctions, and hey, if you are like me, you like receiving some big jam-packed gift bags at your fundraising auctions. It doesn't happen often, and by no means are you required to do it, but it is sort of fun to get home and go through it and figure out everything that you've received. So I have to say it's kind of like opening a Christmas present for me. Now, here's a few things I want to say, though, before we go through this gift bag today. First, as mentioned, it's not required that you have a gift bag. In many cases, the auctions that I work, if anything, maybe have a gift, and that's even optional. The gift might be, for instance, a singular chocolate in a box. That's what it was a couple of days ago in Oregon. I work with a number of schools who will give thank you cards, and the artwork on the front of the thank you card has been imprinted. It's from a student or students that are at the school. Those are perfectly fine for gifts. Gift bags are another level up, and in this case it was a school that I was working with, an international school, and the international school has an expectation. There's a bit of a cultural difference between this school, a big cultural difference between this school and a traditional, we'll say, private school or Catholic school that I'm working with, because their population is from many French-speaking countries, and individuals who want their children to have a different style of education. So in those cultures, there's an expectation to do a gift bag. So what I'm about to show you is rare. You don't have to do it, but it is kind of fun to go through it. Now, this event I did in April. It's now October. Oh my gosh, this is like the first video I have done for my blog all of 2018. It's been a hectic year, both professionally and personally for me, so I haven't had a chance to do it. But I have saved this gift bag because I really wanted us to experience this together. So I don't know what's in it. I know that it's pretty good because I can tell from the weight of it, it's got some good stuff in it. And I also know the development director kind of gave me a clue as to some of the goodies that are inside of it. So I'm looking forward to going through that with you. One other thing I want to say, though, well, you know, I'll hold off on this because it may become apparent in what we go through it. I know there's some paper in here, and sometimes when we're dealing with papers, there's an idea that I can share with you. So we'll get to that here in a bit. Let's do some unpacking, huh? Okay, French school. Now, something to keep in mind here, if you are a brand new auction chair or working with a group that maybe has never hired an auctioneer before, it would be a big leap for you to hire an auctioneer, right? That's the fear that you'll have to overcome. For a number of my clients, I work with a great many group of clients that are outside my home base of Washington, D.C. For them, they may have been working with a professional auctioneer, but their fear that they're overcoming is the fact that they're now hiring someone from outside their area who doesn't know them as a local nonprofit, who doesn't know the names of their local donors, and in many cases is a different price point than what they've paid in the past. So they're taking a risk in that sense. Well, in this case, this school is also taking a risk because it's not part of their culture to do an auction. In a number of international schools, if the population is primarily non-US centric, you have a group of people who are not familiar with the concept of fundraising auctions. So it's a big leap. It was a big leap for this development director to bring me on because they weren't sure how it was going to go culture-wise. Many of the parents there might say, what the heck, we pay tuition, or the government should pay for this. This is how it is in our countries. The government pays for this. Why would we be asked to give more at a fundraising auction? So that was a big leap for them. Everybody has their own fears that they have to overcome, but I think it's worth it to mention it in this case because it might not be something that you're familiar with because you've never had to deal with it. But for this culture, that's a big leap that they had to take, was to bring in the concept of fundraising as an auction style. It wasn't just a party. That's what everybody comes expecting at that event. No, it's a fundraiser too. All right, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and pull this out. First thing I guess I should show you is the bag. I'll do my best to bring this up to the video so that you can see what I'm looking at. This is Beau Concept. Beau Concept is a furniture company, high-end IKEA. Think of it that way. They're Danish. IKEA is Swedish. The IKEA is kind of more low-end. This is more high-end. So they have a nice bag here, plastic bag, grocery bag, wide bottom bag, something you would use for your groceries. And right here. First thing I pull out here is, in fact, a big Bow Concept magazine. See, you can kind of see some of their concepts here if you're unfamiliar with them. Okay, good. And since I have been doing a big remodeling project, I will look at that. Next up is something in all French. Oh, je ne sais pas. Je pense que j'ai besoin d'étudier le français régulièrement. Which means I really need to practice French. I need to study it. Here is what we have is, I'm going to guess that this is probably for kids. Maybe it's something that parents buy. This one might be, yeah, it's all kids. It's kind of cartoony. So I'm going to guess that my mom used to buy this stuff for my brother and I, and it's just, it's fun, but it's educational at the same time. That's going to be my guess as to what this petite, because children, small, petite quotidien, on apprend tous les jours. Yeah. All right. We don't have time to figure that out. You can pull out Google language and see what the exchange is on that or what the translation is on that. Next up is a postcard, Fresh Baguette in Bethesda. I'm reading off the back. Discover one of our stores and enjoy a free baguette. No purchase necessary. When did it expire? No, it's fine. There's no date stamp. I can take this in and I can get a fresh baguette. All right, now here's something I'm noticing, and this is what I was going to say earlier, and then I thought, well, I better hold off, and this is a perfect example of it. Very often when we see gift bags like this, there's coupons or free stuff in it. This company did not put a special code or anything on the postcard to track it, but that can be something that you could talk to your sponsors about, is to be able to see how many of the people in your organization actually went into the bank and opened up a checking account or went into the jewelry store and got a free watch battery. But you can do that by tracking it with some sort of a symbol on the back. This company didn't do that. They're just giving everybody a fresh baguette. They won't know where those people came from, if they were new customers, returning customers. But at any rate, I appreciate the baguette. It's just that as you're thinking about strategy for your gift bags, that would be something I would suggest that you consider. Tracking it with a code of some sort. Air France has included a little postcard, just as a reminder. Did they give... I don't remember if they gave a donation to the school or not. So I have seen some Air France donations before. That would be a logical one, wouldn't it? To give to a French school. La Campagne. We have another... This is a advertising postcard. Oh, discover the 100% business class airline flying from New York to Paris for less. $1,800 round trip in business class. Okay, so New York is not that far from Washington, D.C. People commute it and on Amtrak, or we have a lot of buses and so forth that run between those two cities. So they're advertising down here for that. Here is a postcard. This is describing, it's all in French, so I can't read it, but it's describing those two pamphlets I showed you that I think are for kids. So maybe they have some for different ages or even for adults. That's my guess. Oh, we have tea. Do we have a cacao? No, that's something different. Okay, we have tea. Shaffa Blends, Persian Rose Garden. Tea sample, very nice. Is there something else? Aha! This makes more sense. We have a little postcard here. Oh, hey, perfect example here. Okay, so we have a sample of shea butter lotion. I could have used that last night after my bath. Shea Radiance Women's Gold. They have included on here a save 15% if you use this code. That's what I was talking about with the baguette company. They didn't do that, but this company now can track and see if they get any new customers because they used this code. So whether or not it made sense for them to make a donation to the benefit option. That's the concept. I love it when I can show you something like that in real time. Here we I don't know what this is. I think it's based on the viscosity. Is that olive oil? Maybe it's olive oil. It's 1938, product of Tunisia, imported by someone in Virginia. Amor-trade.com. I have to say, I don't really know what this is. Oh, it is all extra virgin olive oil. Evo. Okay, that's what that is. We have, oh, I love the smell of lavender. I got a lot of Epsom salts that are lavender. All right, we have lavender-filled pillows. What is this? Lavender and Vine, small group tours at the peak of the lavender harvest in Provence. That smells so good. I'll put that in my lingerie drawer. I have been to France once. I've not been to Paris, but I've been to France once. My coworker and I, when I worked for General Electric, went over to Nice, France, and spent a few extra days after the conference and tootled around. We went over to Monte Carlo, almost got robbed. There's a story there. We went to Nice, we went to Saint-Tropez, but it was in January, so of course there's not all the dance clubs and the beach isn't active and so forth. But we did drive through those areas, and that's all kind of in this Provence area. And I remember thinking, oh, it would be so beautiful to be back when that fragrance fills the air and all of that color in the fields. And here's a company that offers tours during the peak season. We have a, I don't know what this is. It's a box with D on the outside of it, or a P. No, I think it's a D. Oh, well, this is pretty heavy. It's a wine stopper, Palisades. It says Palisades, and there is a phone number on it. I can use a wine stopper. This is pretty nice. But you know, I don't know what the company does. I'd have to go to I have to call his phone number to find out, I guess. That to me seems, it's a nice gift, but from the company standpoint, I don't think they're going to get much out of it, you know? There's not a reason for me to reach out to them. A Whole Food! Bright orange box here, Paries. I'm going to guess that it's chocolate. A gift from Paris. I don't know. We have, what is this? Some more orange. What is this? Oh, we have a stress brain. Best tutors on earth. Both of these are the same color. I'm guessing they're together. Revolution Tutoring. Yeah, so we have those. If you want to keep your brain sharp, learning a second language is better than crossword puzzles. What have I got? Oh, more food. I get excited about food. French Pastry Revolution. When did this expire? Oh, I'm okay. No, I'm not. It expired in September of 2018. All right, I'll have to eat this as soon as I get done with this video. Expiration doesn't bother me if it's only a month or so old. This is Shaffa Blends. This is the tea. Where'd that tea go? So this has a code on it as well. You can use a promo code that's tied to the gala. You get 20% off your purchase of teas. So that's good. Of the 3 that we've seen now, 2 of them used a code and then 1 of them didn't. Smart. La Satin, I know that's not the correct pronunciation of this company. It's youth oil for your face. I will use that. I use oil on my face all the time because it's dry. If you're not familiar with this company, they're in a lot of malls, and they have French products, bath products, men's, women's products, and so forth. We have a luggage tag from Vamoose. So is Vamoose? I don't know that Vamoose. Vamoose, is that like a French word? Vamoose. So here's what Vamoose is. I'll give you a little backstory. When I was modeling in New York, plus size modeling, I lived in DC, but all of the go-sees, all of the jobs were in New York or other places. And so at that time, there were buses that would run from Chinatown, DC to Chinatown, New York, Chinatown, Philadelphia to Chinatown, New York, Chinatown, Boston to New York, and so forth. And they were run by a couple of Chinese companies. And the buses were beat up. They would break down. Air conditioning wouldn't work all the time. Couldn't use the bathrooms. When you're coming back like I'd be coming back at 2 a.m, they'd have a bad kung fu movie up on the screen and so forth. Well, someone must have paid attention to how packed these buses were and how you had to get early on some of them because they would just fill up, and then you would have to wait for another hour before the next bus would leave, because all this competition came into DC and they started to run really nice buses, double-decker buses, Wi-Fi buses, up to New York and back. And Vamoose is one of those companies. Mega, Bolt, there's some others as well that are now competing. And so those original companies if they're around, I haven't seen them. They've been kind of assimilated. Eastern Bus was one. They're still around. I think they're probably contractors running under some of these other companies. So vamoose is a luggage tag. I really don't know. Vamoose to me sounds like a vamoose. It might be French or something. Maybe not. But that's the name of the bus. And we have lotion. Kadale. Some sort of a lotion. Very soft scent. Really probably no scent. Maybe floral. So I got a lotion. And is that everything? That's everything. All right. That's a pretty big gift bag, isn't it? But you learned some things. That's good. So you got to see what this group included in their bag. But not only that, you got to see a couple of examples of what you could do and talk with sponsors about with regards to providing a code so that you can do some tracking to see whether or not that promotion was successful for them. Good idea. But it's not required. Remember, gift bags are optional. So with that, if you're looking for additional information on benefit auctions, you're welcome to head over to my website at redappleauctions.com. I have free and fee-based courses over there that will help you improve your benefit auction. In the meanwhile, my name is Sherry. As always, good luck to you in your benefit auction.